guys can catch the full discussion, the link is below. But this is just a small clip of what's to come. Today, you guys, I have some amazing girls with me, some great, amazing friends, my FAMU family, and now just sisters in the word of the Lord.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Iesha or Iesha, as Angie calls me.
Hey, everybody. My name is Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Leeza. Once again, we're all rattlers, so we all know each other.
I'm going to go ahead and just open this whole thing up and just get straight to the point. We are here today to discuss being single in our 30s, no kids. It is quarantine. The Rona has arrived, and here we are. So we're going to go ahead and start with why do we think we're single and how long we've been single, right? And then we're going to go ahead and get into different levels of so many things around our single life. And then we're going to get into coronavirus and the quarantine life and how dating is going to be now moving forward with us. So there's some levels, people. So you guys just sit back, relax, chill, get ready for the conversation. We're going to have a good time. So ladies, how long we've been single? And then also, why do we think we're single? Let's start there.
Okay, well, I can kick it off. I've been single for, I'll say, about a year now. Well, a little over a year, because there's that lingering process. And the reason why I think I'm single is because I feel like I've been treating men like they're my husband when they're not. I think I give them way too much too soon. And like the old saying goes, why milk the cow? Well, hold on.
Yes.
Where you get the milk for free.
Right.
Right. So that's my reason.
I've been single for about 4 years solid, and that's kind of questionable because it's a lot of like in and out, off and on situationships more than relationships. And I think it's just because God's timing at the end of the day. As much as I think that I should have been already or should have had a ready-made family in my 20s, or whatever the case may be, I think it just has not been in timing. And I think also just in general, it's just not, again, I just keep coming back to timing. That's just what it is. Like, I think that my time is what it was supposed to be, but apparently God said, no, not yet.
Not yet. I like that.
Yeah. I've been single for about a year now. I've dated in between, but I've been single for a year, not in a relationship. And I think one of the major contributors to that, outside of God's timing, because our time is not necessarily his, like Stephanie was saying, is me staying in the wrong places too long. So knowing that the relationship is not the one that God would have for me, and prolonging leaving that relationship or ending it. So I've wasted, I feel like, a considerable amount of time in the wrong places for sure.
Right, so I've been single for 3 years, going into this year, coming up by the end of this year, it'll be 4 years. So I'll just say 3 years so far. And single meaning no relationship, no, just single. You know what I mean? But I think the reason why I think I'm single, outside of course God's timing, of course, because I don't think, we just haven't met yet, Mr. Whoever you are, we haven't met yet. But I still think there's a lot of factors that contributes to that, including I don't get approached enough. I feel that people look at me a certain different way and they assume a lot of things about me. And then on top of that, maybe I don't put myself out there enough, and I don't even know what that means. Ultimately, it's really just his timing and my own personal growth. So some things I had to grow and learn about myself, and the things I want, the things I don't want, and just getting to that point. So do you guys think city, state, atmosphere, environment, location, age, like, are those some factors as well?
Absolutely. I think, at least for me, I think age plays a role in it. I'm not in certain spaces anymore where I meet a multitude of people. I'm consistently going to my job. I'm in a building, you know, from 8 hours a day outside of this quarantine situation. And when I'm not there, I'm working from home. So to me, that limits the people that I see. I see the exact same people. It's like a revolving door as far as that's concerned. Location, I'm in Atlanta. And while Atlanta gets a lot of bad flack for that, I'll say I haven't had trouble dating here. Now, I haven't found the one, but I haven't had trouble dating here at all.
Yeah.
That's been pretty consistent. And anytime I'm not dating here, it's by choice. It's like I'm saying I need this time to myself, which I've done before. Having quantity over quality is a thing as well. So
I recently relocated from Washington, D.C. I'm back in my home state of New York. Haven't had much time because we're quarantining, and I just moved here about a month and a half ago. So that. But if I had
you actually got, you got right into it. So you
literally, I moved here February, and by March 13th, Cuomo said it shut down. So, but prior to that in DC, dating, I lived in DC for about 8 years, and it was just pretty obsolete. So many different factors, a lot of pretentiousness, a lot of in and out because it's, you know, the nation's capital. So you have a lot of people that are kind of just very transient. And I did date somewhat, but more of what I would say, I don't want to misspeak and say this, but I feel like most of the people that I was actually having a connection with didn't live in DC, and they weren't from DC. They were, you know, outside of the area, and that was just my personal opinion, but it could just be, you know, what I'm into.
Yeah, that could be a thing too, for sure.
Could be.
Yeah.
So I live in Dallas, Texas, and I have to say, for me, dating hasn't been like too much of a problem. Out of most of my friends, I probably date the most. I do feel like there's a good quality pool of men here, mainly because Dallas is like, or the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's like, we call it the Metroplex. It's humongous. There's a lot of opportunities. We're thriving. We're one of the fastest growing cities in the country, and we have a lot of people that are moving here all the time. So I think good quality men are here. The problem is people touch down here and they're like, ooh, new city, right? They want to get out there, they want to check out the scene. And I don't think I've run into a lot of men that are just really ready, right? They're focusing on their careers, or they have other objectives, or they just want to explore and see what Dallas has to offer. And I think that's like the main thing here. But I believe that there are quality men, but also it's also like a melting pot. So we have a lot of different cultures and diversity, and the African American population is a small percentage. So if you want to date a Black man and a quality Black man that's ready, then it becomes, you know, very hard. Looking for. But overall, I think that there is a good pool of guys here. And to Leeza's point, it's just a matter of getting into the right places to meet these people.
Yeah, that's good. Because even when I just visited you in December, just going out there, like I told you, it was like a whole different ball game compared to Miami. So we all know Miami is like the party city. We're known for our Spanish culture now. Of course, you know about the Black people here, but you don't really know about the black people across the bridge. You know what I mean? Where a lot of us stay. So it's when I went to go visit Iesha, even when I went to go visit Stef, like just seeing Black people, more Black people. Even when I went to go see Stef, I visited Stef last year as well. Like I seen Black girls like with natural hair. You know what I mean? Like when we went downtown, just going to get something to eat, like it was just like Black people. You know what I mean? I went to go visit Iesha in December, and we go out, and like the vibes there, like the music and the Black people. And for me, and the reason why I'm saying Black people is because, of course, I want to marry a Black man. That's what I want. Like, that's what I, desire. At the same time, I understand that love is love. And here in Miami, there's other cultures. There's Haitian, even though they're Black, but sometimes they don't consider themselves Black, believe it or not. They consider themselves Haitian. So there's Haitian, there's Spanish, there's, girl, so many other races, other, not
ethnic
races.
backgrounds.
Yeah, different backgrounds and cultures. That's a good word. Different cultures. And just going there, experiencing that, I was just like, Miami is really, we're tripping. And the Black people that's here, there's like literally this many.
Wow.
Am I out and about? You know, like Leeza said, like going to work and coming home and doing a lot of work from home, even before quarantine. Like before quarantine, I was already working from home, or I scheduled myself to go out when I needed to do real estate work. But outside of that, I'm home. I don't party as much as I used to. And if I do, it needs to be like how it was like in DC or in Dallas, like real chill spots with jazz and vibes and stuff like that. We don't have that here. So again, when I said earlier about not putting myself out there because there's really not too many things I can do, I go to the beach. But we got tourists out there in the beach. So people are coming here, guys are coming here, and maybe they're just out just to have fun. Maybe they're not looking at all for life. They ain't looking at starting a relationship. Miami is a city just to come and have fun. You come and do your thing and then you leave. So I think that's one of the reasons as well too. And our locals, not all the locals, because I'm a local, so I can't say that. Girl, it ain't that many. You feel me? So I understand. My man may just be out of town, and I think this quarantine thing may be a great thing for that, because now getting into the whole different phase of dating, the way of dating. Who knows? We could just run into each other somewhere online. I don't know. But anyway, let's jump into what others have said. The reason why we're single.
I've had some of my sentiments echoed by people in my personal life, just staying in the wrong places too long, which gave me confirmation. But a lot of times, especially when you have a relationship with God, you know when you're in the wrong place. He'll tell you time and time and time and time again. So I was aware of the time, but I don't think I understood the consequences of that until after. So, you know, you're there and I'm prolonging ending the relationship, even though things aren't working out. And I'm not thinking about how this could potentially block my husband from having access to me or the person that I'm supposed to be with. As well as that time is passing, every year we all get older. That doesn't change. And because of that, like we were talking about before, as you get older, the spaces that you occupy are different. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm like very routine. I try to kind of like get out of that. But I'm extremely routine. I go to work, I go to church. Like this is every week. You can depend on me being in at least those two places. And in those two places, I'm seeing the same exact people every single day, most of which are already married, have families. You know what I mean? Like I'm occupying spaces where I'm not meeting a lot of other single individuals in general. So that's another item that I've gotten feedback on, is just kind of like, well, where are you at? You know what I mean? Like, where are you going where you would potentially meet that person? So I would definitely say the places that I occupy is one big one. And then also the time that I've wasted in prior relationships pretty consistently.
People have said that I need to have clearer intentions from the beginning. Because oftentimes, you know, you'll meet somebody and be like, oh my gosh, he's checking off the boxes, right? And it's like, but is he really? And even if he is, like, you got to put up on the other side, you know, of that column, there are going to be flaws that come, and you have to have, you know, your antennas up for those type of situations, even if it all feels good, it looks good, it smells good, all that. So I definitely say, you know, directing my intentions better, and, you know, to piggyback off of Leeza, just being able to know when, like, you know, your intuition has already told you, like, this doesn't feel right, something isn't, you know, something's going on, and you got to listen to that spirit that's inside of you that tells you, like, you should just stop at this point.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, you know, we're just so, especially with us being in our mid-30s, you know, we're at the point that we're like, well, no, like, this is God, right? And
Sorry, but it's true.
He ain't answer. He like, nah, this you, boo. Like, this all you. You know,
it's all you.
And I, those, it's just being more intentional that people have said. We know a lot of people, right? We know we went to school with like hundreds of thousands of people, but sometimes our blinders are on, because we have this type and whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's just getting out of our comfort zone. So people have said that. I'm like, very similar. I'll mirror, the same thing Leeza and Angie said. When I was in DC, home, work, home. If I was going out with my friends, my girls, or whatever the case may be, it was the same group. Some of them already married, or like already dating. Like it wasn't really a plethora of like me just single. Going to different events and stuff like that to meet people. And it could have been like every now and again, but all in all, I think it's just also getting out of, my own way and maybe focusing on everything else that I should be focusing on and letting him find me.
I like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Pull out a notepad because I got a list.
Come on, Iesha.
Well, tells me that my picker is off. Like the men that I pick, they just don't measure up. Another one says that I need to guard my heart. I put too much out there of myself. I've also heard, I had ex ones tell me that I was like officious, which kind of lines up with why I think I do too much when I'm dating. Like, and I treat men like my husband. He said that by me like stepping up and just trying to do things and make things work, that it's annoying in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't give the man the opportunity to really pursue me and date me the way that he wants to. So, I mean, I can go on and on with that list. I do want to touch on something that Stephanie said about the blinders and how there were so many men at FAMU. I think when I was at FAMU, I had two boyfriends in college, one my freshman year, one my senior year, and the one that was in my senior year. I really liked him, and we were great friends. And so the whole time I was in college, I just felt like I always had something going on. So I didn't have time wasn't exploring the other men that were out there, or even giving anybody like really a chance. And looking back, if I could go back, I would definitely have taken the time and dated more at FAMU, because I believe there was some good quality, folks there, men there.
Okay. And they say you're most likely to meet your person in college.
So.
We should have taken more trips over to the engineering school, architecture.
For real.
Girl.
I was definitely an Iesha. Stephanie can attest to that. I was off in my own world in relationships and kind of like isolated myself from the social environment in school. So Iesha, that was a good point.
Yeah. So because you guys touched on a FAMU thing, for me, I was kind of like Iesha. Like I came to FAMU already in a high school sweetheart relationship, right? So my freshman year, I was already in a relationship. So anybody that I even met, it was just like, boop, I don't see none of y'all. I'm dating, like I'm in love. I'm with my future husband, and none of y'all dudes, I'm good, right? So after him, I got into a different type. And that different type was the Myammee way, right? He had to look a certain way. He had to talk a certain way. He had to be a certain way. And honestly, that look for me was only from Myammee. There was nobody else from FAMU looked like that. So it just weed out everybody else. Like nobody else measured up to the look that I had in mind that I thought that I was attracted to. It was at the time. At the time I was. So eliminating a whole group of men, like out of the whole school, if you didn't have this look from Myammee, none of y'all measured up. So I already deleted all of the guys, and I don't know how they came off in front of the guys. I just know I've always been told I've been very strong, and I've been it doesn't look like I'm approachable, or I don't give people the time of day. I get a lot of that, and it's just like lately not lately, like recently, but like within the last year, I'll say I've just been thinking about like, what is it that I'm giving off? Because is it something I'm actually giving off, or it's just something that people are just intimidated by, And again, like, it's crazy because looks do play a big part for me. I had one of my friends tell me before, which I was like blown away. And this was like some years ago. She was just like, I thought you would have been the first one married and the first one to have kids in our whole group of friends. And I was like, why did you say that? Like, why would you say that? And of course, it goes off of straight of looks. And it's like, that has nothing to do with it, because me as a person still oversees all of that. We all know, like, I'm like two-sided. So I don't care how I may look to people. I'm totally the opposite of what people may think I look and act, or I don't know. You know what I mean? So I guess for me, people seeing me I'm standoffish. I really don't know where that comes from, because I feel like I'm such a cool person. I feel like I'm such a down-to-earth person. I feel like me and a guy could be really cool friends, because I'm like low-key like a tomboy in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, I don't know. But that's what I've been told. So to keep up my stuff on track, because I'll be all over the place. So to keep myself on track, what have I been told? I've just been told that, like, it's just, you don't give people the time of day. You don't give enough guys a chance. And it's like, what are guys at to give them a chance? Because I don't get approached. I don't get approached enough. And the ones who are bold enough, they just not for me.
They just bold.
Yeah, but it seems like the bold ones are the ones you wouldn't really want to like actually date in real life. Like, I don't know what that's about. That's so weird to me.
Isn't it weird? And I had a friend say, well, they don't have nothing to lose. And I'm like, what do you mean? So the guys that I've seen that are kind of attractive to me in a lot of their ways, they got something. What do they have to lose? What, their ego? Because I just don't understand. I just don't understand.
It has a huge part to
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
It's not something that everybody can take very easily. People process rejection for years, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
I think that's a big part, especially when we're talking about our Black men.
Yeah.
And I think that social media is playing a role in people not having that face-to-face interaction like they used to as well, because I feel like men feel like they don't necessarily have to approach women out because they're meeting women virtually all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you have the dating apps, you have Instagram, you have Facebook. There's so many other ways for men to connect with people and kind of soften the blow, I guess, if they are rejected, that I feel like it's minimized and decreased the likelihood of them doing that out in the world when you're face to face or in their presence. That's just my assumption. I definitely feel like social media has contributed to putting a barrier up to that.
Like Iesha, she pointed on, it's just not enough there's not enough guys out here who are ready, right? They're good to date, they're probably good to talk to, but maybe they're just not ready, and ready meaning going to the next step, which is dating with purpose. So I guess my next question would be, even though we realize that there's a lot of guys probably not ready that we just haven't run into yet, what is it about us that makes us now ready? Are we really ready ourselves? And how are we preparing ourselves to open up ourselves to be ready to match that guy who actually is ready to go? Because if we run into him, if he's ready to go, are we really ready to go?
I'm almost there, but I think I need a little bit of time. I did just get out of a breakup. And right after my breakup, or during that lingering process, I met someone that I really, really liked. And he ended up teaching me what I did want in a man. Like, he helped seal the deal, like, in a lot of different ways. He was awesome. But I told him out the gate, hey, I'm not ready for anything or whatnot, but we can date. And he said, oh, well, that's perfect. So we had this awesome relationship. And then I got to the point where I'm like, I really like this dude. I really wouldn't mind being with him. And only for him, he still wasn't ready at that point, but great guy. And we had to cut things off, right? So I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready, but I can give myself a little bit more time to unpack some of my baggage and get rid of some things. You know what I'm saying? So that I don't carry those things into the next relationship. So I'm just really want to take some time to woosah and analyze things and really think through what my next steps are. Because I think, like we all think we're good catches, and I just want to make sure that I'm ready and I bring it all to the table.
I can go next. I think I'm ready. I think a lot of times, sometimes we question our readiness because we're not there yet. We're not actually in a relationship that's leading towards marriage. But I definitely think I'm ready. I think that I've questioned my readiness in the past, but I think me questioning it was contingent upon the person that I was connected to at the time, the person I was in a relationship with, and his lack of readiness started to make me question my own. But after I left that relationship, I realized that I was ready and he just was not. That was just the reality of it. So there was nothing for me to question in that regard, because had he been ready, we would be married at this time.
Right.
So and he presented himself as a ready man. And then of course, throughout the course of the relationship, I discovered that that's not exactly the case. The other piece to that is basically like, I feel like I'm preparing on a daily basis, and I've even started praying for my future spouse, and not praying to just to receive him and to know him and identify him when he comes along, but I pray for his readiness. Because going through that experience with somebody where we had come into the relationship with the intentions of getting married and getting a home and having kids and all that other kind of stuff, and it not panning out that way, I want to make sure that I'm not just meeting a representative of readiness the next time.
Yeah.
Because he definitely had me convinced that he was ready, and he literally just was not prepared for everything that came along with saying that I'm going to be with this person for a lifetime. So I definitely have been intentional in my prayers, just praying that that person is really ready, and that they have the capacity to go through the ebbs and flows that we're going to go through naturally in a relationship in general. But to answer the question, I do think that I'm ready. I think it's just about meeting someone to match my level of readiness.
To match your fly, girl. I get it.
I am not ready yet. I'm not ready today. I think I'm about 75-ish% there. Similar to like what Leeza said, I'm in preparation phase. You know, even in this quarantine time, this has given me ample opportunity to reflect and just realize that there's a lot of giving of self that I have to get used to, because there's a lot of compromise, and just sharing and things of that nature that, you know, I have to get ready for. And just preparing in general to be, I think Ish touched on something about like always being a giver. I just feel like one of my sole purposes on this earth is to be in service, and that's just to humanity in general.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes when I meet somebody and if I feel like there's a connection, it's like go time. It's like, oh, you know, I want to be helpful, you know, I want to be thoughtful. And sometimes that gets to a place where, you know, you probably need to like back off a minute and say, wait a minute, you know your role in certain circumstances and just wait on for a minute. So I think I'm still, as much as I want it tomorrow, I just have to be honest with myself that I'm not ready today, but I'm nearing that place. And I've been praying for my spouse, praying for my kids, you know, that are coming in the future, that not just for him to come, like Leeza said, but for it to be a great thing and for it to be a lasting thing, because that's important. More important than the beautiful wedding, more important than, you know, family vacations, that the marriage is going to sustain through the test of time.
Right. Yeah. I like that. Some people always say, a lot of people who met their spouses and they've been in their marriages for years, they'll say that, you know, this person caught me off guard. I wasn't even looking for anybody. That wasn't even in my radar. And they end up being together for many years. So to say that, I have to say personally, even though I feel like I'm not ready, like personally within myself, like saying, maybe I'm not here yet and I'm not there yet and I'm not here yet, I think I'm just open to now being ready to really date with purpose and really be open to it, because I'm going to have to grow regardless. So for me, I'm just open. And I've been, like I said, I've been single for 3 years. And when I mean single, I mean like for real single. There's no dates. I haven't had no date night. I haven't had nobody to have no movie nights with. I haven't had like, you know, have I been on dates in the daytime? Yes. I haven't had no nighttime dates. Well, no, let me not say that. I did go to a comedy show with somebody, but That was the last time I went with him. But you know, and I date with purpose, so it doesn't take me that long to figure out if this person is for me or not. But I just feel like I'm open. I am ready to share, even though I feel like I'm not on these checklists of what I think I should be. But I don't want to stop whatever God has for me. And I feel like God will prepare me when it's that time for us to meet. And there's always going to be continued work on myself. Like, I'm not going to come together as this total package in a bow, ready to go under the Christmas tree, as if, okay, now this is my representation to him. Because yeah, they have representations too, that their mask can fall off. I just want to go organically in it and grow with him. So I would never be complete as a person, as a human being, as a woman anyway. So if I have to continue growing into myself and still trying to figure out life, still trying to figure out what I want to go here and how I want to go there, why not share it with that person who I'm just open to and who is really meant for me and who was born for me and who was created for me, and just grow with him in that way. So to answer the question, I am ready, even though I'm nervous because I'm not the shiny bow under the tree yet in my eyes. But at the same time, I want to just grow organically with him. And that's it. Like, I want to come with all of my stuff on the table. I want him to accept me for me. I want him to accept me the way that God sees me every day, because God knows I'm not even all together yet. But if he can look through those type of eyes and see me like, okay, she got some pieces, but I want to be there with her to try to like figure it out. Like, that's when I'm ready. It's been 3 years, okay? Not because it's been 3 years, but I figured out Angela for a couple of years now. And now I'm ready. I'm put out there, I'm ready, and that's it. So, yeah.
Stuff,
I figure it out as I go. It's just like business. It's like you just figure it out as you go. Even when people get pregnant, like when my mom got pregnant with me, she was 21. Like, was she ready? Absolutely, probably not. Most likely she wasn't. But they figured it out as they go. You know what I mean? I just want to figure it out as I go and just have that part of a testimony with him. Like, child, I was all over the place. I was a hot mess, but it ended up working out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I think the right relationship, you'll grow and evolve. Both people should be doing that the entire time, in my opinion. So I think if you can just grow together, find a middle ground to most things in life with that person, then you'll be fine. Especially if it's the person God has for us.
Yes. That's the main thing.